Hey, I'm Anna Marie Ellison, and this is Market Movers. I have been licensed since 2006. So I got licensed right before the big crash, and then I've been in the business all the way as we worked ourselves back up to the market that we're in today. I started out as an agent in East Central Alabama, made the transition, moved back home to Birmingham back in 2013, where I took the role in a leadership as a broker and have been on the broker leadership role since 2013. So a little over 10 years now. Yeah. So obviously social media is one of the top ways to advertise a property or market a property when you first get it listed. But a real serious buyers, they still go a step further and want to get a lot more details about a property that they're truly interested in. So I think being on your own personal website, but also it being on Zillow and Realtor and Homes.com, some of the other large portals, buyers that are real serious, they're going to get super granular and want to find as much information about the house as possible before they take the next steps to go and schedule a showing to get inside the house. So the pricing strategy for a new property is so important because you want to make sure that you enter the property at the right place so that you get as many eyes on your property as possible. And so I like to look at properties that have sold recently that are very comparable in size, in location, in upgrades, in lot size, in features. Look at properties that have sold recently. Ideally, we can find some good comparables to use within the past 45 to 60 days. I also like to look to see what's currently under contract in that price band because those are properties that have been successful. Securing a buyer who's been looking very recently at something very similar to ours. I want to look at that property and see what they've done to get it show ready because they have been successful in securing a buyer. And then of course you have to look to see what you're advertising against too. Who is your current competition and how do you rank against those properties on the market? So I like to pull solds, current under contract properties, and then what we're competing against too to make sure that we're entering at the most competitive place on the market. You know, right now there is a ton of information on the internet and people just have resources to get them quicker information, faster information. And so as a real estate agent, you struggle sometimes with making sure that you're still the speed, the source of information when your buyers or your sellers need something and want you to be a resource. And a lot of times they've researched and they've got this snippet here, this 140 character thing here, but they still need somebody to help them analyze and apply the resources and the information that they've gotten from somebody who doesn't know who they are, doesn't know what season of life that they're in. And so it is a constant struggle just to stay in front of that type of information and when you're working with buyers and sellers. So in real estate, you know, most agents work with buyers or sellers during the most stressful times. They've got a new job, somebody has graduated, or gotten divorced, gotten married, had babies, and all of these life events cause stress in which they need to change where they live and their living dynamics. And my most recent success story that I've got is I worked with a brother who the owner of the property had a pretty serious bout of dementia, and the brother didn't realize how quickly it had escalated because he lives in a different place. And I got the opportunity to sell the house for the family, and it was just, you know, nobody wants to be in that position. But I was really fortunate that we were able to get his brother's house sold fairly quickly, a little bit more than what we asked for it. And he was, you know, really good about, you know, I realized there's some things that we need to be done to the property. I didn't realize how bad my brother had gotten. But then there was a lot of trust from the agents on the other side who we didn't know because the guy who lived in the house had dementia. So he didn't remember when the roof was replaced. He didn't remember how old the HVAC system was. I'm still struggling to spit that word out. So it was just challenging. And so we had to have a lot of communication back and forth, not just with me and the current brother or the seller, but also with me and the other agent involved. So like with any profession, you know, real estate, you have to stay not just at the cutting edge, but the bleeding edge of a lot of trends and new things that are happening in the marketplace. And one of the best ways to do that is to continually be learning and trying to get better at your craft. Subscribe to all of the wonderful housing magazines and architectural and design magazines out there so you can stay on top of, you know, design trends, paint colors, you know, this is in, that is is out. Also have to stay on top of tech trends. Am I using the latest and greatest to make it easier for my client to do business with me? Am I removing the friction that a buyer or seller might experience when I want them to do business with me? We can copy a lot of industries that do it a lot better than real estate, but as long as an agent is continually trying to get better and learn and be the best that they can, it'll be very easy for them to stay on trend and ahead of the game. Just like there is not a national weather forecast, there is also not a national real estate market. Everything is incredibly local. And we even see that just within the Birmingham metro area. You have different things trending, different properties move quicker, different properties move slower just within the 459 Beltway around the Birmingham metro. And so if I was going to predict or, put in a crystal ball and tell you what's going to happen in the future, you've got to look to the past. And Alabama has traditionally had an amazing 3 to 5% appreciation rate every single year in real estate. And so I think we're going to continue. I know we're going to continue to see that. We have a lot of large employers that are, doubling down and investing in the businesses within our footprint. And those people have to have jobs. They're increasing wages. And so those current buyers have the opportunity to move up and different things are happening in their life. And we are very, very fortunate to be able to sell real estate in Alabama right now because it is one of the hottest places to buy houses. So real estate is still blocking and tackling. And with brand new agents who are getting into the business, the thing that you have to do, that you have to master, is being able to talk to people. There's a lot of ways that you can sit behind the scenes and learn how to fill in a contract and learn how to fill in a listing agreement and make sure that I have the best written repair request ever. But if you don't have any clients and you're not working with anybody, then you never get to show off what you've learned in a classroom. So if I was a brand new agent starting out, I would quickly grab a mentor or attach myself to an agent in the office who's incredibly busy so that I could be a sponge and just absorb everything they're talking about, see them in action, basically learning on the job. And you can learn how to apply and see it in action versus sitting in a classroom and taking great notes. And nothing against all you great note takers, but learning how to apply and talking to people every day. And the sooner you can get to something under contract or get to a listing, you'll get that amazing energy and you'll get just filled up with all the excitement that happens when you get to work with buyers and sellers, and you'll never look back.